I'm AJ Hoge, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Join my VIP program. To achieve your goal, to achieve your success, you must commit. You must commit. You must take action. Consistent action. It's not enough just to dream. You need to train. Right? Think like your favorite sports hero, athlete. They train, they practice every day. Training with coaches, working to become better and better and better. Same for you, same with English. You need to train your English every day. Now that's what my VIP program is for, to train you to speak English fluently, powerfully, effortlessly, and to think in English. So the words come out without you stopping, hesitating, none of that. But you have to train. You have to train every day. That's what my VIP lessons are for. They are designed by me to train you. And that's why my VIP members are really at the highest level. They are working towards the highest levels of English speaking. You too can train, but you must commit. Commit. It's not enough. 1 week's not enough. A few months is not enough. Being lazy doesn't work. You've got to commit. So commit now and join my VIP program. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. Join today at effortlessenglishclub.com. effortlessenglishclub.com. Enthusiasm. Love this word, enthusiasm. It's one of my favorite words, enthusiasm. Recently, I've been spending a lot of time around young children. This is something that young children have. They have great enthusiasm. Of course, we know they have a lot of energy. But it's how they use that energy. They get excited. They're enthusiastic about so many things. If we compare them to adults seem so, sometimes boring, let's be honest, right? Now, of course, we adults, we have our lots of positive things about being an adult. For sure there are. We have greater knowledge, greater wisdom, more experience. We're tougher and stronger. All of that, of course, that's all great. Right? We don't want to be children forever. Of course not. However, children can teach us. Of course, as adults, very important for us to teach and guide and help children. Of course, that's our very important role, our duty, and something we love. And parents, of course, love this a great deal, but also grandparents and uncles and aunts. All of us, really. We're here to guide and help and teach those who are younger than us, especially children. At the same time, though, this is not a one-sided relationship, because we also gain. They teach us. They remind us of important things. And one of the great things children can teach us is the power of enthusiasm and also curiosity. Because they're so filled with curiosity and enthusiasm, they're really connected, those two, right? They're so interested in, everything. They're so curious about everything. That gets them excited and energetic whenever they do anything. You can play just a simple little game with them and they can be very enthusiastic. They can get very enthusiastic and excited and curious about the smallest things, like a little bug that they find. Or a new book. Or an old book. They can get enthusiastic and be enthusiastic about a book that they have read many times, but they just love it and they want to read it again and again and again and again. I think that's one of the great things we can learn as adults, not to lose that. As we become stronger, as we face many challenges in life and difficulties, we have our failures. All of these things, we grow wiser and stronger. We practice equanimity. All of those things are great. It's important, however, to not lose our love of life, our curiosity and our love of life. We must remember that even though we have much more experience than younger people, that we don't know much. We still don't know much. We are still very limited. There is still so much to learn in a lifetime. And we're never finished. So I love to watch children and watch them get super excited and interested about everything around them. This is why, one of the reasons why, they learn so easily. Because when children are learning outside of school, they're not worried about performance. They're not worried about grades or tests. They don't always worry, oh, am I good enough now? Am I good enough now? Am I getting better? Am I getting better? Am I getting better? Am I getting better? Right? That's what adults do. But children, they just enjoy the process of learning. They're just very curious and enthusiastic. And the improvement just kind of happens as a natural result. Improvement and knowledge happen as a result of their curiosity and energy and enthusiasm. But they focus on being interested. They focus on enjoying what they are doing and learning. That's what children focus on naturally. Get them outside of school. They're not constantly worried about performance. They're not constantly testing themselves. They don't really care about that, honestly. Not very much. I mean, they like to get better, they like to improve, but they do it mostly by playing, by having a playful attitude and just experimenting, just trying, and then they get a little better, and oh, that's fun, and they keep going. But the whole time they're having fun, having a great time. They're relaxed and enjoying the process of it. They're enthusiastic and excited about the learning process. And adults, too often adults get so focused. They're so worried about performance. This is, again, it comes from schools, all those years of school and work too. We're constantly worried about someone else, the teacher or someone else grading you, testing you. Oh, what's my performance? Will I get a good grade? Will this be on the test? Constantly worried about other people judging your ability, your knowledge, your improvement. And this goes deep until finally you do it yourself. You don't even need other people. You start doing this yourself, constantly judging yourself, constantly worrying, constantly looking at your own performance and worrying, am I getting better? Am I getting better? Oh my God, it's not happening yet. And getting worried and then getting depressed because, oh, my improvement's not fast enough. And then, right, it just gets worse and worse. And then your motivation goes down and down because doing this is no fun. It's not enjoyable. It kills enthusiasm to constantly worry about performance all the time. constantly judging your knowledge and your ability. Destroys enthusiasm, destroys natural curiosity, destroys the enjoyment of just the process of learning and exploring. That's why I say school kills curiosity. Schools kill enthusiasm. Schools kill real natural learning. You've got to break this. You've got to break this. I understand, I have goals in life too, and I have had goals in the past. Yes, I understand that, they can be somewhat useful to have these performance goals. And of course, we want to continue to learn and improve. Yes, I understand that, but we do it way too much. You have to understand that the improvement will happen. Okay, you will naturally learn. You will get better with English, for example. It's going to happen just by listening and listening and listening. Reading and reading and reading. And if you're a member of my VIP program or Power English, or my pronunciation course, just listening to those lessons every day, you will improve, okay? It's going to happen. Just relax and enjoy it. Enjoy it. I made those lessons about interesting topics, powerful topics that will help you in all parts of your life. I made the stories kind of silly and foolish and funny. So just enjoy that, okay? Don't be so serious. Like the Joker said, why so serious? Okay, yes, you need to commit. You have your high goals, great. You want to be a fantastic English speaker, that's good. You join my VIP program or you join my Power English course or pronunciation course. Maybe you do a couple courses. That's great. But once you start doing it every day, relax. Just do it every day. That's all you have to do. Just focus on doing it every day. But while you're doing it, relax and enjoy it. Enjoy the topics. Enjoy the funny stories. Go for a walk while you listen. Smile. Have your head up. Just enjoy it, okay? Don't worry every day. Am I getting better? Am I getting better? Oh my God, am I getting better? Oh no, have I improved yet? Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Am I better yet? So many people do that, and it kills their fun. It kills the enjoyment, kills their energy. Don't do that. That's not going to help. You will not get better by worrying all the time. That will not help you. It will hurt you. Just relax and trust. Trust that it will work, because it will, okay? We've had thousands of people have used the VIP program. Thousands and thousands, and have made big improvements and achieved big success, okay? You are a good, normal, intelligent person, and you also will succeed. So just relax, okay? It doesn't happen in 1 week. And everybody's a little different with the schedule. Some people after 6 months, they see a big improvement. Some people need 9 months. Maybe some people need a whole year to start seeing those big improvements. But just relax, because they do come. It happens. It happens with everyone, as long as you relax and use the lessons every day as I tell you to. Just follow the program. That's all you need to do. And the same also, even if you're not in the VIP program, okay? Maybe you're just doing everything independently. You're listening to this podcast. You're reading lots of books. You're doing lots of audiobooks. All of those things I recommend. You're doing all of that, again, and just enjoy it. People ask me, for example, what book should I read? What audiobook should I listen to? Well, I don't know. My best answer is one that you enjoy. Read books that you love, that you are interested in, that you enjoy. that you're enthusiastic about, that you are curious about. That's the best book. It's different for everybody. Now, of course, to enjoy a book, it needs to be easy enough to understand. You know this, right? If you get a book, or especially an audiobook, if you get it and it's much too difficult for you, maybe it's very interesting, maybe it's a great book, but if it's much, much, much too difficult for you, well, then you won't enjoy it, right? No enthusiasm, no curiosity, because it's just it feels like work. It's too much work. Every other word you don't understand, too many words. It's too difficult. It's not fun. You're not really learning or enjoying it at all. So that's okay. Sometimes, it's hard to know when you get a book or an audiobook. It's hard to know, is this a good level for me of difficulty? And sometimes you get one and it's too difficult. Well, don't feel bad. Just save that book for later. You can see it as a reward, a future reward for you. In the future, when your vocabulary is better, when your ability is better, your listening ability, your reading ability are better, well, then you can come back to that difficult book and try it again. And at some point in the future, it will not be too difficult. It will be the perfect level for you. And it's a great feeling, right? To come back to a book like that, a book that was too difficult. And then you come back maybe several months later, and now it's not too difficult. Now you're reading it and you're enjoying it. What an amazing feeling. That's great. So don't get upset, okay? It's okay to get a book and it's too difficult. It's okay to get an audiobook or any audio, and it's too difficult. That's fine. Save it for later. Don't get upset and this sucks. It's too tough. No, save it for later. It's a treasure that you can come back to and enjoy later. So then you go and you just try another book, try another audiobook, try another podcast, whatever. Try different lessons. And you'll find something that's a little easier, that's your level, and then just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. This is why I do my podcast, my show, my Effortless English show, why I do it this way. Meaning, you notice that in my podcast and my show, I don't talk about the English language very much. Not much. I teach you some vocabulary words sometimes while I'm talking about a topic. And I talk very generally about learning and language learning and English learning and motivation. But most of my topics are about other things. I talk about spirituality and religion. I talk about travel and exploring. I talk about psychology. I talk about money and business and success and jobs and careers. I talk about happiness and emotional mastery and even relationships sometimes. Why am I doing this? Well, because I want you to just be enthusiastic and just enjoy these topics in English. Every time you listen to this podcast or show, you're practicing, you're training your English listening ability. You may be lower level and this is a little challenging, a little difficult. You may be very high level and the podcast is very easy. But in both cases, you're still getting that great repetition of English, English, English. Very natural, spoken, American English, grammar and vocabulary and phrases and idioms, all of that. But see, I don't want you to think about all of that. I want you just to enjoy the topics. Just be enthusiastic and interested in the topics. Just be curious about the topics. And the English improvement will happen naturally. You don't need to think about it too much. You don't need to worry, oh, is my English improving enough? Oh my God, oh, is this podcast the right level for me? No. Just relax and enjoy the process. The improvement will happen. I promise you. This is my promise to you. The improvement absolutely will happen. All you need to do is be enthusiastic, be energetic, be naturally curious. Just enjoy listening to the show every day. And those of you who are very motivated, or a VIP member, or a member of Power English, or pronunciation course, or original, whatever, same thing. Just enjoy the lessons every day. Listen every day. That's all. Very simple. Very simple. This is what real natural learning is like. This is what children teach us. Because they're great learners. This we know. Children are fantastic learners. Natural learners. So they remind us and they show us what we lost, what many of us have lost, that natural learning ability. Why did we lose it? Because of this terrible system of schools. It destroyed the natural learning process for many of us, probably for most of us. And then we have to relearn, we have to rediscover, we have to find again that natural learning process, that love of learning, that enthusiasm, that curiosity, that improvement that just happens by itself without worrying about it very much. And children show us the way. They remind us of this again. They show us how it works. They show us that power of natural learning. How wonderful. We can learn from them. They contribute to us as adults. And of course, we have to, and we want to contribute to them as well. So natural learning, natural education. This is why I'm such a huge fan, why I love independent education, online education, this huge revolution happening around the world. No bosses. You're the boss of your own learning. I mean, children naturally will also be bosses of their own learning. Of course, adults guide them and coach them and help them and teach them things, but children don't naturally just sit and do nothing and wait. They don't just sit around waiting to learn. No. They're very aggressive learners. They look for learning all the time, right? If you've been around small children, they will follow you everywhere. And they will watch everything you do. As an adult, they watch everything you do. They will try to copy what you're doing, and they will constantly ask that question, or those questions, right? What are you doing? What are you doing? Why? Why? What are you doing? Why? What are you doing? Why? Oh, how do you do that? How? Show me. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to try. Right? You can't stop them from learning. They are very aggressive, super motivated, enthusiastic, curious learners. How different from school, where the students sit in a chair and they just sit there and wait. Teacher, tell us what to do. Teacher, tell us what to read. Teacher, tell us what to study. Teacher, tell us what to learn. Teacher, is this on the test? Oh, it's not? Okay, I don't need to worry about that then. I'm not going to learn it. It's not important. It's not on the test. It's not important. What an unnatural, horrible system. I hate it. But see, you as an independent learner of English, you're using that same, you're returning to that same natural method, mindset of young children. You go looking for, you, the learner, actively, aggressively, go looking for learning, looking for interesting English, for books, for audiobooks, for podcasts, for lessons, for teachers, for coaches, and even for other people to practice with. That's something cool happening on my Twitter and my Gab right now, is that, as usual, many VIP members and other members and fans are creating their own little groups to practice conversation with each other. Their own little groups to chat with each other on Skype or with on video conferencing like Zoom, something like that. I didn't tell them to do that. They just did it on their own, just by themselves. They just decided, hey, I want to practice my English. So do I. Hey, let's make a group and then we can talk to each other. We're in all different countries. We're all learning effortless English. We're all, using the lessons. Let's practice, once a week or once a month or whatever. We can schedule a time and we all chat together. Maybe we can choose a topic to talk about. It's great. This is constantly happening with the Effortless English family around the world. Constantly this happens. Different groups of people getting together by themselves. I don't do it. I don't tell people to do this. I don't schedule it. They're not waiting for me to tell them what to do. They just do it because they're curious. They're enthusiastic. They really want to chat with each other and start using and practicing that English that they're learning. Great. So great. That's natural learning. That's natural enthusiasm again. I love seeing it. I love it. I get so excited watching. I don't interfere. I don't even comment on that really on Gab or Twitter. I just let you all do it. But I just want to give you, applause. Clap, clap, clap for doing that because it's so fantastic. And I'm so happy that you are showing that leadership. That's leadership. That's initiative. That's enthusiasm. Great. That's what winners do. That's what top performers do. And it's also what enthusiastic children do. Small children, especially, for learning. They naturally pursue and try to find those opportunities for learning. They naturally get together and play and enjoy together. So fantastic. I've often said this, that with Effortless English, the best mindset to have as you use the lessons or even listen to this podcast, that the best mindset is a playful mindset, a playful, enthusiastic mindset. That attitude, that emotion, that point of view is the very best for learning, really for learning anything. Playful and enthusiastic. So when you're playful, playing a game, yes, of course, you're trying to improve. Of course, if you're playing a competitive game, of course, you're trying to win. But it's not so serious. It's play, right? If you're doing it with your friends, doing it with other friends, and with children, you see this. They will try to win, right? They can be quite motivated about winning. But there's also, underneath that, overall, this great feeling of play and playfulness. Such a great attitude. The playfulness balances that desire to win. The playfulness balances that desire to improve. Without the playfulness, then the desire to improve, the desire to win becomes too serious, too heavy, and then it kills all the fun. It kills all the happiness. It kills all the enjoyment. And then eventually it can even kill all the motivation. There are some people in the world, who can keep going without playfulness, right? They're those super motivated people who have to win all the time, right? We say they're driven in English. They are driven. It means it's like they're like a devil or a demon is inside them, pushing them to keep going more. They can't stop. But these are not normal people. These are very, very unusual people. These are the people typically who become billionaires. Steve Jobs was one of these people. Steve Jobs was driven, right? More, win. But there's a very dark side to that. And the dark side is those people are often, I'd say probably usually, not very happy. Right? There's something a little tragic about them sometimes, very often, in fact. Where we recognize, God, they're missing so much of life. They're always so heavy and serious. They don't seem to have humor. They don't seem to have, it's not really enthusiasm. It's something darker, pushing them. Because see, normal people, most of us, that's 99% of us or more, when we feel too much darkness and heaviness, when all the joy is gone, we will stop. We will quit. We will stop. Unless we're fighting to survive, of course. If we're fighting to survive, that's different. But in most areas of life, when something becomes, very, very unpleasant, when it's no fun, when there's no happiness or joy or in it, when it's not interesting anymore, well, we just don't want to do it anymore. That's human nature. Those guys who are driven, they're very, very unusual people. For the rest of us, we need that playfulness to balance it out. The playfulness brings the happiness. The playfulness brings the enthusiasm, the joy. It's the combination of the two. The playfulness and the motivation. When you combine them together, that's the superpower. Then you are improving and enjoying it. You've got the motivation to keep going, to get better, but you're doing it in a fun and playful way. Fantastic. That's the superpower. That's why we'll see, for example, in sports, that often the great players, the really great ones, they seem to have some kind of enthusiasm. They love the game. You'll hear this phrase in English. You'll hear it on sports. Sports guys, sports announcers will say this. Oh, he just loves the game. He loves the game for the love of the game. Those top guys, those top superstars, of course, they're super motivated also. They definitely have that strong motivation. They need to win. But they have a little extra something else. And it's that pure happiness and joy and enthusiasm playing the game. They just seem to love it. For them, it's more than performance. It's like art. It's performance art. That's that magical combination we're looking for. But see, in life and with school and often with work, the performance, the work, the performance, improve. is overemphasized. We focus much too much, too much on that side. It's unbalanced. And then the side of playfulness and enthusiasm and curiosity, well, in schools, they just throw it away completely. They completely destroy it. It's not important. They destroy it. And that's why so many children learn to hate school, right? By the time they're 18 or 20, they are sick of school. They hate school. But most tragically, sadly, they often also get the idea, the belief that learning in general is boring. They don't realize that school and learning are completely different. Not even close. Not the same. Indeed, school and education have no connection to each other. In fact, I would say now, at this time in history and human history, that schooling is anti-education. Schooling is mostly anti-education. That real education today must happen outside of the schools. That's the only place you can get real education now, is outside of school. Okay, well, I've got a little child in my house right now. So, time for me to go. Again, I just want to applaud. Applaud means clapping, right? Like this. Give you a big thumbs up to all of you who are independent learners. That's everyone really listening to this show right now. Congratulate yourselves and keep going. And just be sure as you go forward, I know you're very motivated. Look, the Effortless English family is super motivated. I know this. I've met many of you in person. I know from social media that you're very, very motivated. You have goals. You really want to improve. You want to be great speakers. Many of you already are very good speakers and getting better, and you want to be fantastic. That's great. I just want to remind you, however, that be sure that as you do this, don't forget the playful attitude. Don't forget that playful mindset. You must remind yourself, because the one of the problems that very motivated people have, a common problem for motivated people like you, a common problem is that they get a little too motivated sometimes. And sometimes they let that motivation, that desire to improve, they let it become a little too serious, a little too heavy. And then the fun, the enjoyment, the enthusiasm starts to go away. It's good to be a motivated person. So, fantastic. That's good for you. That's great for you. But just realize that, everything has its dangers. We have to be careful. Everything has strengths and weaknesses. And we just have to realize that one of the common weaknesses of very motivated people like you, one of the common weaknesses is that you can get a little too motivated sometimes, and you can forget that playfulness. Just don't forget it. That's all. You just need to balance it out a little bit. Balance out your strong desire to improve. Balance your strong motivation to be a great English speaker. Just balance that out with that mindset of playfulness, so that as you learn, you're doing it with playfulness and enthusiasm. And I promise you, this is from my heart. I promise you, you will absolutely improve. You will achieve your goals. Just do it with a smile and enjoy. Alrighty. As always, join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. Speak powerfully, commit, and do it playfully. Join my VIP program now at effortlessenglishclub.com. Go now to effortlessenglishclub.com.